I actually wanted to be an actor, but somehow or other I just ended back in racing, so it must be in my blood.
But somehow the racing bug didn't really bite 30-year-old Paul. The eldest Highland offspring is in charge of the family's rose-growing business.
I suppose when I was about 13 years old, Dad said, you better go and get a job. And I think he was sick of having me around the house, so I went and got a job in a nursery, and I've been in the industry ever since.
And the youngest as well, 16-year-old Patrick, is looking towards a different career path than the one you might expect.
Don't mind working out on the land a bit with cattle, and I strap horses for a bit of money, Chris and Dad, but I don't want to make a future of it.
Matthew's wife, Kate, has simply had to learn the racing vernacular to be able to join in, sometimes to reminisce about one day especially, Cup Day 1985.
Juanette's girl further back from Fox Hill, Tripsica Mouse, A-Fair still with a big job to do. What a nuisance in front of it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good day. Yeah, that was a pretty good day, Pete.
All right, Corrie Mayen, what a nuisance wins the fastest Melbourne Cup.
You know, I was running out of time. But What a Nuisance came along and sort of topped the whole career off.
12 years on, they're still together. What a Nuisance has the run of the property. For that grand old horse, and really for the whole Highland family, things aren't too bad at all.
If you don't have some bad times, you don't have the good ones are no good to you. So, yeah, I'm very proud of them.
Some great people in racing. It's the horses that attracts them, you know, magnificent animals that they are. Now, for the last time in Cup Week, it's been fascinating too to see all of these designs. Here's Lynn Talley.
Thanks, Tim. I think you'll agree it's been inspirational, exposing the talents of some of our young designers. The last two labels we're going to look at, firstly, Princess Highway and Mark Burnett, who's the designer of this wonderful, silky, slinky number. Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah, it's great. It's a sick little disco party slip.
From the 80s.
Yeah, perfect for going on into the night and, you know, having a great little Saturday night. It's got the little sequin straps and handkerchief hemming. Very 80s.
And what an adornment. I don't quite call it a hat, but hey, that's enough to scare people away, Nicola. What do you think?
I don't want to scare anyone.
It's nice to wear too, you tell me. And on this side we have Katie Graham and her beautiful design here, very feminine and flowing.
That's right. It's made from stretch visco, and you can wear it with different combinations underneath. And it's a little bit wild, but definitely different to whatever else you see here at the races today.
Yeah. Modelled superbly by Lacey. Thank you very much. Well, that wraps up our look at young designers. It's been terrific, and we hope, like many other designers that have launched themselves here and their collections here at Flemington, that they become household names in the future.
Thank you, Lynn, and let me say thank you once again to Dom Bagnato for the beautiful clothes. Got lots of phone calls, actually, about the suit I was wearing on Oak Stage, which is a beautiful grey suit, but this is magnificent too. Dom, you make lovely clothes. If you're coming to Melbourne, go and see him and buy a suit for yourself or maybe for your partner. Be a beautiful thing to do. We'll take a break and come back with some more. Welcome back to Flemington. One more race to go. It's about 10 minutes away, and that is the Melbourne Cup Carnival Plate. And just about everybody has stayed at the racecourse this afternoon just to enjoy the closing stages of what has been a magnificent Melbourne Cup week. Seen some great racing. Of course, a record crowd, 260,000 people. And a few more over the 4 days of the carnival. Extraordinary, isn't it? The people of Melbourne just keep coming to this wonderful carnival, and it's been just about perfect all week. And a lady who has thoroughly enjoyed herself, I can vouch for that, is Sandra Sully in our marquee with Sally Friedman.
Thanks very much, Tim. Yes, Sally, you've had a big week, I guess, in a business sense and in a family sense, so congratulations. Obviously, you are a milliner. This is a very important week for the industry.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the build-up of months of hard work. I've been making hats now since August, and it's just great to get out here and see so many beautiful women wearing lovely spring colours and showing off the hats.
Now, I do know that you want to give a little message to all the ladies of Melbourne and all your customers to suggest to them, Tim, that perhaps they order a little early and not leave it to the last minute. You're a little busy right up to Friday night?
There's always a last-minute rush, and look, had hats in for retrimming and alterations, and even this morning I was sewing ribbons onto little girls' hats for the kids' fashion. So yes, it would be great if everybody could get their orders in a little bit earlier next time.
Well, nevertheless, they are looking absolutely glorious in their hats this year, so you must be particularly proud, and hopefully business is good. And of course it is for the family. The Freedmans are doing very well, so we wish you the best of luck, not just for the rest of this season, but for next as well. Thanks for joining us, Sally.
Thanks, Sandra. Thank you.
Well, Tim, Sally Freedman, successful in family life and in business life.
Sandra Sully, thank you very much. A lot of awards during Melbourne Cup week, and let's just have a look at the photo. Apparently most of these will be announced at about 5:30, but we can have a preview. That's from Derby Day, and Darren Tyndale from the Herald Sun has taken out the photo. There's owner and jockey of the winner, the Amy Media Awards, and Second Coming, of course, won the Derby, and there's a very happy owner and trainer. And jockey, rather, Greg Childs, looking absolutely thrilled with himself. And there's plenty of people been thrilled with themselves. Oh, incidentally, we're very proud to say, too, that Marianne Dibbs, our Sports Tonight reporter, has won on Derby Day as well for Best Television Coverage on Derby Day for her Sports Tonight feature. And well done to you, too, Marianne. Peter Donegan, one last thrill to come. The last race on the last day.
Indeed, Tim, yes. And speaking of people who've done a fantastic job, my partner in crime down here, Jen, I must say a lot of people throughout the week have been saying to me what a good judge you are and that they enjoy listening to you. But the one thing that they have been saying is that they think you're a little bit tall to be an ex-jockey.
Oh, I think there's a fair bit of cheating that goes on here, Peter. I mean, I am on so I'm a bit of a stand and
let's just swap sides just for a minute.
Well, you see how short I am.
Okay.
there you go. And that's without heels.
So let's go back to these runners in the final. Can you hear me down there, Jen? Last race on the card, Zuccarino to be ridden by Danny Brereton.
Well, Zuccarino's got plenty of weight here, 63 kilos. He's first up since early September, and I thought he was a little bit disappointing on that occasion. I'd only give him a place chance with that much weight.
Number 2, Lord Luskin, Danny Nikolic, the rider for Leon Corstens.
Well, his last run was at Caulfield. It was a shocker, really, for him. He's also got 60 kilos to have to lump around here, but he's a pretty good horse on his day, so some chance.
I thought Touch of Force had a bit of a hope too. Well, one of John Mars here. Vlad Jurek takes the ride, and he's getting better.
Yes, he's a very good horse on his day, if he's right as well. So one that can definitely improve here, but had a little freshen up.
Is Lando number 5, the one that there might have been a bit of money for. Brett Preble is the rider, trained by Greg Urell at Cranbourne, and it is currently showing about $9.30 on the toe.
Well, Brett rode this horse absolutely perfectly last start to win at Geelong, and I do think he's there with a place chance in this race.
And my selection, and certainly the favourite for the last gen, is Romantic Ace. Shane Dye didn't have any luck at all, and gee, it was a huge run behind Confiscate the other day.
It certainly was, and he's got to come into this race with a very strong chance. Shane Dye to ride here, and if he gets any more luck than he did on the weekend, he's definitely one to beat.
Can you present a case for Hunza Court here? Darren Gauci riding for Peter Hayes.
He's a horse that likes to get his own way in front. Whether or not he's going to be able to do that, I'm not sure, but he has won over the 1,400 metres here at Flemington, so he's got a good record.
11, Ben's Rocket, normally gets back and runs on. Damien Oliver, the rider for Dean Howard at Bendigo.
I go back to his run last year around about this time of the carnival, Peter, and he missed the start by 3 lengths. He was only beaten 1 length in this race, and he's better over this type of distance as well, so he's there with a chance.
And another one of the Hayes runners, number 16, Sovereign Squall, and Greg Hall is the rider. Last at Caulfield at its last start, but that was some time ago.
Yes, and that was over 1,600 metres. He's back to the 1,400, been freshened up here. The last ride for Greg Hall before he heads off to Macau for a 3-month stint, and I think he's a good value chance in the race.
We do wish him well. I know you're pretty close to Greg, so do you think we'll see him again, or they were talking about maybe that might be his last ride at the Melbourne Cup?
Well, I don't know. I don't think we can write off Greg in anything, and I wouldn't be willing to say at this stage, but I know that he is going over there, and let's hope he does have some success over there. I'm going with number 9 here, Romantic Ace, from number 16, Sovereign Squall, and number 11, Ben's Rocket in the last.
And Dan, it's the favourite for me too.
Okay, Pete, the favourite is Romantic Ace at $2.90, dominating the market here. There's quite a few other horses in the market ranging from around that $9 to $20 dividend in the market. Sovereign Squall and Merchant Bank are 2 of them that fit into that category. I know nibbling all the way through here. They must have thrown out a fishing line because they've got 4 or 5 on the line. Merchant Bank's trimmed up, Tim.
It certainly has, and I'm sure I heard Bart Cummings said it needs 1.25 miles. Well, The punters don't think so. They've come forward in a big way. It's $15 on the tote. It has come in on the tote, but it has come in alarmingly in the ring. The clear-cut favourite, though, is the favourite, and that is Romantic Ace. And, Peter, that bloke who was meant to fly in from Adelaide to back his Lando, I think he missed the plane. He has not had 1 cent on his Lando whatsoever.
Well, you've learned a very valuable lesson there, Tim, and that is don't listen to our producer, Nikki Wilton.
Absolutely.
Here I am over here. Jen's gone. Where is she? Anyway, the last race of the carnival is over 1,400 metres, and they'll start over the far side of the track, and then they'll run around to the finish in front of this great crowd here at Flemington. 26,000 people today. There are the tips for the last. Can we go out on a winning note? Romantic Ace for all 4 of us here in the final event on the program. Incidentally, congratulations to Greg Childs, who came into this meeting, one of the form jockeys in Victoria, and he has won the Ron Hutchinson Excellence Award for 1997 with 20 points, defeating Damien Oliver on 18, Shane Dye and Darren Beedman equal third on 12 points. Well done to Greg Childs. Let's see, though, if Shane Dye can finish the carnival on a winning note for us. There he goes to the gates aboard Romantic Ace. Melbourne Cup Carnival Plate after this break on Network 10. Down, 1 to go for the Carnival of 97. The curtain's about to come down with the Melbourne Cup Carnival Plate, and there is the scene from the Whitman's Lightship, which has provided these fabulous pictures over the past week here at Flemington, and looking down from up above, and of course cameras situated all over the Flemington Racecourse, hopefully to capture all of the excitement of what has been a memorable Melbourne Cup Carnival, and around 260,000 people have attended over the 4 days. About to get set, and in this particular race, Brett Preble is riding his Lando number 5, and Mark Aston caught up with Brett to find out his chances.
Brett, this fellow, his Lando, looks pretty impressive.
He's a very honest horse, and he's very consistent, so I think today it's a very even race. It's probably the toughest he's been in for a while, so and he's got his fair share of weight. So I think if he runs up to his ability, he should be able to go close again today.
Drawn 10, where would you like to settle him?
He's a horse that races forward, and you know, he can lead or he can take the sit. So you know, I'll let him slide forward, and the horse will tell me where he's going to be.
So the talking horses, Lando is going to tell Brett Preble where he will be in the run, and he's going to let him slide up towards the lead here for the final event. They're filling the gates quite quickly. Just a quick congratulations to the crew who shot many of the colour pieces that I was engaged in doing. Mark Koopmans and Chris LePage. I think the boys have done a fantastic job, as too have these 2 gentlemen, Gary Willits and Dan Malik.
Thanks very much, Peter. Well, gee, I do like the look of number 9, Romantic Ace. I thought he looked superb going round. Look, I'd just like to wish Darren Beedman all the best, Dan. I'm sure you would too. It's a big calling, and, well, mate, I hope you've done the right thing, and may God go with you.
Yeah, and ditto from everyone involved. I think in racing, he's certainly one of the most popular personalities, not just jockeys, but personalities this sport has produced.
Great guy. Yeah, gee, we've had some great racing. Dan, you've had some real close ones to call.
We certainly have, particularly the straight 6 races, and who will ever forget that Melbourne Cup?
That's right. Yes, it's a really good one. We're moving up. There's Hunza Court. He can often put in a good race around here, around this 1400 at Flemington.
And they're all set for the last race of the carnival. All ready for the last. Romantic Ace is the favourite. And away they go now. There's a pretty even dispatch. Ben's Rocket and Papal Monarch are going to get back in the early part. Likewise, Touch of Force. And one of the first away was the grey Zuccarino. Hunza Court's going forward as well, and pushing through was Perfect Harmony, and also Lord Luskin from his good draw. Markstad got to about 5th. Then Sabre Affair is trapped out 3 deep. Sovereign Squall's about 7th on the rails. Then is Lando, 2 lengths to Sir Swayze. Wonder Romantic Ace, 1.5 lengths to Dry Humour. And they were followed by Getting Well well back. Merchant Banks drifting back. It's wide out on the track. Papal Monarch fourth last around. Ben's Rocket and Touch of Force. And Merchant Bank back to the rear. 700 to go. Hunza Court led from Perfect Harmony. Racing up in a third spot was the grey Zuccarino as they round the turn. Lord Luskin's in a nice position. Out there wide as they start their run around the home bend now. Was Sober Affair. His Lando was tracking it. Sovereign's Call down on the rails from Markstad. Romantic Ace ridden along the favourite, taken wide, and then Dry Humour and Sir Swayze on the rails. Zuccarino with his big weight goes up to join Hunza Court in Perfect Harmony. Lord Luskin trying to get out his Lando into the clear. Romantic Ace, Dry Humour was with them, and then Touch of Force. Zuccarino led, tackled by Romantic Ace and Dry Humour. Romantic Ace and Dry Humour go up to Zuccarino. Sovereign's Call gets through. Romantic Ace is fighting off Dry Humour. Then Sovereign's Call, Romantic Ace in front, and the last favourite's going to win the last race of the carnival. So it's Romantic Ace, the winner from Dry Humour and Sovereign's Call. Then came Touch of Force, fourth in, fifth in Zuccarino. Then is Lando, Lord Luskin, Papal Monarch, Sir Swayze, Ben's Rocket, Sober Affair, Merchant Bank, Hunza Court, Perfect Harmony, and Markstad.
Well, Shane Dye at his best. He had a beautiful run on this horse. I was watching him come into the home corner. He had him back out about 3 or 4 wide, and I thought, you know, he might have sprinted a bit quicker, but he took a bit of winding up. Shane got the best out of him, and he worked right away and went to the line very strongly.
9 Romantic Ace, the winner from 7 Dry Humour and 16 Sovereign Score. 9, 7 and 16 in the last.
He's a nice type of horse, this horse. He
very strong, well. Gary, in the last 200. Very strong.
Yes, there he is here. Like Shane had to give him a real shake-up just after they straightened up. And he ranged up to them here, be about 200 metres to go here. And now he's got hard to work on him. Dry Humour's the one outside of him with the bandages, the red hat. And Zaccarino's the one right on the inside.
She was a good run under the huge weight.
Oh, yes, he was travelling very well. And there's Greg Hall coming through, one out from the grey on, what was it? Sovereign Squall, sorry. But here's Shane right at his best. Beautiful balance, getting the best out of this horse. He goes to the line very well.
Comfortable winner as it turned out. Gary, I promised I'd mention the quaddie dividend for 6361 earlier. It returned $1,603.40, that reverting back and clearing up all dividends on the 8th. John Letts for the final time this carnival. Congratulations, Letsley, and he has the winner of the last, Shane Dye.
Well, we're having a bit of trouble picking up Romantic Ace. He thinks he's still in the race. And Banjo, I think, is about 100 to 1, and I think the winner was favourite. But we might be able to pick him up, mate. He is a bit of a difficult horse to handle, Romantic Ace. He had trouble with him going around the gate.
Let's see, what was your highlight for the carnival?
I think the highlight of the carnival was, I like Damien Oliver when he won the Oaks on the filly, on the good filly, because he had a lot of pressure on him, Damien. And to see a good jockey go out on a short prize favourite and win a big race, it always gives me a thrill to interview them coming back, because you know the pressure that they've been on. But I think the highlight's been the last 4 days of the carnival. We've had record crowds, and it just gets bigger and better every year, and as we promised, next year with the Channel 10 telecast, you'll nearly be able to pat the horses in your lounge room.
Thanks, Letts. You've done a super job once again.
So have you guys. It's been great working with you, fellas. See you next year, hopefully.
John Letts there on the track. He's done a great job. It's a hard task to keep up with those thoroughbreds that are fully fit, but he does a brave effort. Banjo, he's a super old horse too, isn't he?
Yes, he is a great old horse. Johnny better lose a bit of weight so he can catch up to them. No, he looks pretty fit, Johnny. He's looks great. Hasn't aged a bit.
Shane Dye rode a double here on Thursday, the last 2 races, so he's only just starting to wind up RS Dye, and he brings the favourite back, Romantic Ace, so he will be the punter's pal for the end of the Flemington Carnival for 1997.
Yes, well, he certainly had it in a great spot, Dan. You know, he was about 6 lengths off them, but he made sure he didn't get cluttered in the other day. I think the horse ran into a bit of dead ends. And as I said, I thought he was actually going to sprint quicker than he did, but he really wound him up, and he got the line great. Yeah, here they are here. You've got Zaccarino on the inside, the grey. There's Lando, Dry Humour right on the outside, and here's Shane right at his best. Getting the best out of the one in the blue and white hat there. Dry Humour in a race, and here's Greg Hall coming through very late on Sovereign Squall, just outside the grey. But you can see here, horse is just going to get away now. Great ride by Shane. And there they go past the post. Here's another view of it. See how they get. I thought Stephen King rode brilliantly today. He rides on those straight races where he had the stick in the right hand and he just switched it over without missing a beat into the left hand. Just incredible. There's a great close-up of Shane Dye.
9, Romantic Ace winning the final event. Punter's Pal is RSI. Not often he's in that situation, Tib Webster, but he will be as we close the VRC Spring Carnival for 1997.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much, you two, by the way. Terrific as usual.
Thank you.
Thank you, Timmy. Look forward to doing it again, perhaps and hopefully in 12 months' time.
Absolutely. Danny Malecki and Gary Willits there, and there's the crowd now just starting to filter out of Flemington Racecourse as Melbourne Cup Carnival for 1997 winds down. We'll try and get that correct weight and dividends through to you on that race before we go. Peter and Jenny are in here with me. Just quickly now, Might and Power needs to come back next year and prove that he's a genuine weight for age champion if he can do it. But why, goodness me, he's a stunning racehorse.
Oh, is he ever? And it'll be exciting to see him back again. Of course, what he did this spring was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
really
outstanding,
was.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Kensington Palace too, next year?
She'll be a Cups horse, I think, all being well. We're going to see Might and Power back here at Flemington. They're aiming him towards the Australian Cup, which is going to be terrific. And Kensington Palace, even this far ahead, I'd like to have $1 each way in the Caulfield Cup.
Would you?
Yes.
I think you'd probably have more than $1 each way, Peter, wouldn't you?
There's a few other handy horses we've seen throughout the carnival
Bazille
too.
Bay being one of them.
Yes,
yeah.
and El Mansour.
Yes, indeed. Gee, it's been a terrific week, hasn't it? I mean, a record crowd. You can't ask for much more, can you?
We've seen some great riding performances. I don't want to downplay the riding performance of that bloke, R.S. Dye, who cops a bit of criticism at times.
He can ride.
I was walking down from the mounting yard to the studio when that race was being run. They came past me at about the 300-metre mark, and that horse was going to get beaten. There's no doubt about that. He has lifted that horse over the line, and he has got correct weight there.
Well, we'll get some dividends up for you shortly with correct weight. Pete, I'll get you to do them when you see them. But you do see, and they're featured, of course, because we're showing every race, the best jockeys in the land at their absolute best. They lift themselves this week. It's obvious. You can see it. Yeah.
RS Dye booting home Romantic Ace in the final event officially with correct weight $2.90 and $1.70. Dry Humour $4.90. Sovereign Squall $3. The trifecta on the last on 9, 7 and 16 $459.30. Quinella paid $38 even. And the race to race double on races 8 and 9 for the numbers 11 Elegant Lass and number 9 Romantic Ace, $27.20.
Yes, and I wonder how many more people we can fit into Flemington Racecourse over 4 days. We're up to 260. We're on our way to 300,000 by the look of things.
Well, the way Oaks Day is going, it's just outstanding, isn't it? Over 75,000 this year. And what are they going to have next year if we have good weather again?
Goss, are they tearing up betting tickets and trying to climb on your shoulders to see somewhere to get some money?
No, there's a lot of queues here actually to pick Romantic Ace, Timothy. It was a pretty bad ending for the bookmakers. I think it was a punter's day, mixed results, but I think the punters might have come out on top. As for me, I go home with a Might and Power cap signed by Jimmy Cassidy, a rare thing. Also go home with the official photo finish. And the amazing part is I backed the Remus.
And not much else?
No, no money.
And the other amazing part is he didn't pay for either of them.
He can't.
I think John Letts is down in the mounting yard with Mark Aston. Gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks, mate. You might have seen earlier that Jenny was actually standing on a box while standing alongside of Peter. Well, at the moment, I'm standing on a box standing alongside of Lettsy. Are you having any luck?
Well, last night, as you know, I did the 588 Adelaide, and I put the lucky punter, I put the $50 on the last winner, Romantic Ace. So Adelaide will be happy with me anyway.
Good on you, Lettsy. Great to work with you.
Mark, we've had a great carnival this year, and it just gets bigger and better every year, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a fantastic carnival, and Tim, it was just wonderful to be down here in the mounting yard for the Melbourne Cup. The emotions that overflowed then were quite extraordinary, and very quickly I must thank all of the jockeys too who have made themselves available. Lettsy, they were terrific, weren't they?
They've all been fantastic this year. Well, they are every year, Mark, but they get more professional every year, so I finish up losing the job. We'll just send the microphone out on... How many microphones have we got? Send 20 out on 20 jockeys. They can interview themselves.
We've got plenty. Back to you, Tim. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you, Lettsy. If it's not the best week in Australian sport, I'd like to know what is. Sandra Sully and Lynn Talbot in the marquee. By the way, Sandra, did any of the youngsters down there dress as cowboys today?
That's a very cruel throw, and I know the innuendo behind that, Mr. Webster.
You're a nasty man. We've had a marvellous week here in the marquee, as you're no doubt aware, Tim, and this is family day, so we've had to keep the kids under control, a fair degree of mayhem, but we've had a great week, and I'm not sure if you believe me, Tim, but this is actually our first glass of champagne. We're saving it for last.
Indeed.
Do you believe us?
Now, I don't think that the celebrations are going to finish at the end of the telecast today.
No, not at all. But, of course, it's been a wonderful week. We'll have to wait till this time next year to be back to drink on and party on, but that's what Melbourne's all about, so we're looking forward to it, and it has been tremendous.
Thank you, ladies. Beautifully done, and you wouldn't expect any less from the two of them, Sandra Sully and Lynn Talbot. Thank you. Vicky, you too, terrific as usual.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
week.
It's been great being here. It's a fabulous racing carnival.
And tipped a few winners between the two of you too.
We managed to find the odd one. There was a bit of a drought today, but the good thing is that we've enjoyed the day today. We've enjoyed every single day. How could you not enjoy coming to Flemington and seeing Might and Power and De Remus absolutely striding to the line? It's one of the most memorable races I've ever seen. I was privileged to see it.
We were all here privileged to see it. See you later.
Okay. See you, Tim.
Yeah,
good to see you as always.
A few people to thank. I'd like to personally thank Sydney City Toyota and their mates here in Melbourne for looking after my personal transport for the week. It helps to have wheels down here, I can tell you, to get around. And most importantly, we really need to thank, because I'm sure you've enjoyed our coverage, all of our crew, our floor managers, cameramen, our producers, directors. There's so many of them here, there's impossible to name all of them. But just collectively, thank you to them on your behalf. And from my behalf, thank you for watching us. It's been a truly memorable Melbourne Cup week with Might and Power, Kensington Palace, a record crowd, the emotion of Jimmy Cassidy, Jack Denham not talking to anybody, and of course Darren Beadman today riding 3 winners, and the last time possibly we'll ever see him at a Melbourne Cup. Boxing Day, he gives it away forever. And good luck to him, because he's had the calling and he's taking it. PGA, don't forget, that's coming up on the 10 Network. Make sure you're watching that. Goodbye from Flemington.